Virgin Galactic is blasting off into investors' portfolios. The company listed on the New York Stock Exchange today, becoming the world's first publicly traded space tourism stock. Shares have come back down to earth, as you can see, up just under 1%. It's off their best levels. A little earlier, it was up around 5%. I spoke with the founder and the CEO after today's launch. Richard Branson told me the new investment in the company means the business can expand even faster.
What's exciting is the public can now invest in a spaceship company. They've never been able to do that before. They can invest in the best spaceship company there is, Virgin Galactic. And we've managed to get the resources from this float for Virgin Galactic to expand rapidly the number of spaceships we've got. And the advantage of expanding the amount of spaceships we've got rapidly is that we'll be able to start bringing the price down in the years to come. It's great to be able to prove that we have built a company that the public love and the institutions love, and it's so far so good.
When I look at this spaceship, I mean, it looks like an aeroplane. I know that you guys do have an ambition to get into hypersonic travel as well, which is, I mean, it will help someone like me who's always in the air. But how quickly can that happen?
Well, I think so what's exciting is that when we are operating commercially, and we've already done this in test flight, is we're going to be the only company that's bringing people on a winged vehicle at Mach 3 plus speeds, right? So that's really tremendous, right? That's a huge thing, and we're going to be developing, a ton of data that will help us design future vehicles, and that's going to come.
Is that in the process already?
Yeah, it is already in the process, and so we recently had this great investment from Boeing, which put a bit of money into the company, and that closed along with this deal. And we're going to work with them to think about high-speed mobility solutions, right? How do we get people from one place to another, much faster on the Earth's surface? And so we don't know where that journey will exactly lead in terms of what the exact design will be, but I think it's an exciting pathway, and as like you say, there's a huge market for it, right? Like hundreds of billions of dollars a year.
But it's going to be at the right cost, right? And right price point. This must be very expensive to pull off, right, Richard? I mean, at the end of the day. So you've got to make sure that you de-risk the company as much as possible. So how are you planning to do that?
Well, in a sense, today we've already done it. I mean, the company is, we put $1 billion in. The company is now worth $2.5 billion after we floated. The share price has gone up about 15% in the last 2 days, so we know there's a lot of love and interest for the company. And then it's just up to our team to deliver on everything they promised, and I'm absolutely certain they will.
We all know safety is a big issue, and it's been under the spotlight for a very long time, over the past year or so. The FAA is going to play a pivotal role in making sure that you get, the stamp of approval and, in terms of the regulatory process as well, done and dusted. How has that been, and do you feel safe?
Well, we've had really great relations with the FAA. As you say, the space part of the FAA is our primary regulator, and we already have our commercial launch license, so that's really exciting. Now, and what we're doing now is sort of the final steps of that launch licensing process. And so what we're going to be doing is submitting data packages, which the FAA will sort of examine and approve as we go towards commercial launch. But we were really proud to be the first company under Part 431 of the FAA regulations to get our commercial launch license. So we were first in this. Now we're first here, and that's just what we do is just try to keep on driving things forward.
I mean, in terms of operating margins, what are you guys targeting? Are you looking at double-digit margins when you? Yeah, I mean, I think
if you look at some of the materials that we've published on the SEC website, you can see that our contribution margin is up in the 60 to potentially even 70% range, and so when you look at on an EBITDA basis, it's a little bit less than that. But I mean, it's a very profitable business. After we've spent this sort of $1 billion plus, of Richard and other people's money to develop these technologies. Once we have that, then we have this very successful business at that point.
I think unlike a lot of other companies that have listed on the stock market in the last few years, I mean, we will be profitable the year after next. So it's a we're not talking about hopefully having profits in 10 or 20 years' time. I mean, the profits will come quite quickly.